Donnie, Donnie, what you got into? Down in Georgia, now you're in deep doo-doo. In the history of this country, it hasn't happened before. Something tells me that there's gonna be more. Donnie, they've got your number. You can go scream and whine. Donnie, they've got your number. P01135809. P01135809. Anyway, bad singing, but I had to think of that song. You know, the one that it's ripped off of when thinking about this, because this is the story of the year. And you can't make this shit up. Not even the Daily Mail can make shit up like this. You know, they made up shit about Biden on the beach and his supposed indifference to the Maui victims. That was all made up. But this crap you can't make up, because he was actually arrested. And that's the first time in American history that this has ever happened. I mean, he's one for the record books, this guy. You know, and I've talked about it. All the firsts that he's done. Not just the worst, but the firsts. And he's the first president, former president, that's ever been arrested. And so, I personally don't think he's ever going to see a day of jail. I think that's the extent of it. He was in getting his mugshot today. And then he left. He was there about 20 minutes. And a lot of people were laughing because his height and weight. And there was no way he could be only 215 pounds. Well, no, he's not. That's probably on his driver's license. I doubt they even weighed him and measured his height. He might be a little bit shorter than 6'3", just given the fact he's in his late 70s. But the 215, no. He's a lot heavier than that. But that's what I think. He got in there, he got out of there. And so we're going to see how this plays out, but there is no way this guy's going to jail. And if convicted, they might put him under house arrest or whatever, you know, put a GPS on him or whatever. And he's still high up in the polls. What happened there with Tucker Carlson? I didn't see that. The Twitter deal, or X, or whatever the hell they call it now. And he did that softball interview with Trump, and that got way higher ratings, or way higher viewers, than the GOP first debate of last night. And I didn't watch that either. I'll probably catch it at another time. But they don't have anybody like John Kasich there. John Kasich would be scary as hell. Not that he's scary, but he would actually beat Biden, probably, if he ever chose to run. But evidently he's disgusted, so he won't. And anyway, there was that. And I guess they tried to out anti-abortion each other last night. And Nikki Haley has, you know, she's yammered the usual stuff about the anti-abortion stuff. And Mike Pence accused her of being waffling on the deal. But why are they so big on something that's so massively unpopular? Why? Can you imagine the grief they're causing women and any families they've got? They don't care. They don't care. It's all about pushing them back into the kitchen. They just don't care. And then there were a couple of quips of note by a couple of musicians of note from the 60s and 70s. And Carlos Santana had to backtrack a little bit, or he felt he had to, probably because of a lot of pressure. And these guys, this Stephen Daw is really in bed with the cult, because he just puts very slanted stuff. He's written on both of these. But anyway, there was a clip that began circulating recently of Santana performing in Atlantic City, New Jersey in late July, where the star, during his show, shared his thoughts on the transgender experience itself. When God made you and me before we came out of the womb, you know who you are and what you are, he said. Later on, when you grow out of it, you see things and you start believing that you could be something that sounds good, but you know it ain't right. I mean, he was right. Okay? The guitarist took his comments a step further, making a commonly disputed claim there are only two genders. Well, there's only two genders, masculine and feminine, because there's only two sexes, male and female, you dumb fucktard daw. Anyway, so, because a woman is a woman, Santana said, and a man is a man, and that's it. Whatever you want to do in the closet, that's your business. I'm okay with that, and it should stay in the closet. That kind of crap. Santana gave a shout out to comedian Dave Chappelle, who has also been criticized in recent years for making anti-trans comments. There's no anti-trans, okay? There's no such thing as trans. You can't be against something that doesn't exist. He said, I'm like this with my brother Dave Chappelle. And then it says here later, he apologized for his insensitive comments. And I realized what I said hurt people, and that was not my intent. No, you just told the truth, and these damn fools just try to shout you down, and then this slanted so-called journalist gives a slant on Alice Cooper, who came across or had similar ideas. And anyway, he gave a new interview, and he's 75, hard to believe. Shared his opinions about best practice medical care. It's butchery. It's not best practice. It's quackery. Youth, saying he was afraid that it's also a fad, which he's right. Using common anti-trans talking points. Now, is this a reporting or is this opinion? This is opinion of the writer to try to tell you what to think. The fact is, it's material fact, and it's quackery, and it should be outlawed. Anyway, this slanted characterization to elaborate, the star said that he felt children were not mature enough to make major decisions about their gender identity. That is a fact. Their brains are not sufficiently developed. I find it wrong when you've got a 6-year-old kid who has no idea. He just wants to play, and you're confusing him, telling him, yeah, you're a boy, but you could be a girl if you want to be. He said, I mean, if you identify as a tree, I'm going, come on, what are we, in a Kurt Vonnegut novel? It is so absurd that it's gone now to the point of absurdity. And he is absolutely right, okay? But a woman would have death threats. That woman, if this were a woman musician, she'd be having death threats, rape threats, threats to her career, everything. And it doesn't help that these idiot reporters put a slant, and they know this shit is false. They know what they're writing is false. So anyway, that's kind of it for me. So the big thing, of course, was the arrest, and it is one for the record books. Although even if he got arrested, if he got convicted, and say he got elected, which isn't going to happen. But say he got elected again, and he gets convicted. Are they going to call Florence ADX the Rocky Mountain White House? It's a thought to ponder. Anyway, that's it.